Now on HTV coverage of the qualifying stage in the 1998 Luxembourg Grand Prix.
It's been an astonishing ride on the Formula One roller coaster. In Australia 7 months ago, the McLarens decide the winning order. Coulthard lets Hakkinen claim the glory. Michael Schumacher and Ferrari have to grin and bear it. Then a hat-trick of wins, it's game on. Hakkinen knows it's a fight to the finish. In the last 3 races, he scored just 4 points to Schumacher's 20. Now it's all square, 2 to go. Is he made of the right stuff to become champion of the world? $80 points apiece. Now a shootout over 2 legs. The Luxembourg Grand Prix this weekend, then the Japanese at Suzuka on November the 1st. The modern Nurburgring in Germany's Eifel region. Around 50 miles southwest of Cologne, we have a changeable autumn day for the qualifying hour. Hello there. Welcome to the Nurburgring. So now it's effectively sudden death between Hakkinen, the Finn with the fastest car, and Schumacher, the German, acknowledged as the best of the current drivers. We've travelled the world witnessing this epic struggle that's coming to the boil. More now from James Allen.
Mika Hakkinen has led the championship since the start, but Michael Schumacher has hunted him down. Who will take over from Villeneuve as world champion? The 1998 McLaren is a revolutionary car, and when it's held together, it's pulverised the opposition, especially in qualifying. But with 11 front row starts, Hakkinen really should have wrapped up the title by now. McLaren has lost out to Ferrari on reliability, and with over 100 detail car improvements to date, Ferrari has picked up points and closed the gap.
They have a car which has always gone well everywhere, and we had to fight a bit harder to get the performance out of our car.
We've been having some non-finished Grand Prix this year, which is part of the racing. I mean, you cannot go flat out all the Grand Prix without problems. We're coming for this Grand Prix car which is well prepared, and I'm looking forward to finish the race and to get the maximum work, get the maximum points.
Nobody has expected us to be at this time of the season fighting for the championship, and I think that's what makes us strong.
McLaren has the highest standards of engineering, and they've won 7 world titles. They've also made some human errors this year in strategy and teamwork. Ferrari has gelled as a team and raised its game to match McLaren. Clever, aggressive strategies are the cornerstone of their championship challenge.
I think the McLaren has done fantastic work. It's been a really, really good job, and they're really getting their finger out, you know. They're really, really getting good. And this is just a start.
In my view, the Ferrari team is absolutely the #1 team in the whole pit lane, because if you see how much disadvantage we had from the car side and how much we made out of it, you have to say Ferrari is the best team. We don't have yet the best car, but we are the best team.
It's a good atmosphere in the team. I don't think everybody's nervous or too excited. I think they're just very motivated and they know exactly what they're doing.
Hakkinen's blistering pace and 6 mature wins have put him where he is, but he showed signs of feeling the pressure at times. The big question now is, can he keep his nerve and finish the job off? Schumacher has been driving better than ever. He's grabbed 6 wins against the odds, but he's also made some pretty high-profile mistakes, which could cost him dear in the final reckoning.
Well, I've had some exceptional races, it's correct, but I have had in the past. There's more difficulties, there's more satisfaction you get out of it.
I've been in Grand Prix racing such so many years, I understood to handle the pressure. I've been in different racing categories, experiencing that pressure. You know, I don't feel any problem with that.
Mika obviously believes himself, sits in the best car, and we have to make sure they're wrong.
I feel good. I will drive the car fast as I can, get the car right, and do the job.
So it's wide open. Schumacher has the experience, Häkkinen has the car. But given the story of the season, he also has more to lose.
It's a chilly 15 degrees, and it has just started to rain at the Nurburgring. That will suit Michael Schumacher. We've got a fantastic sporting duel on our hands here this weekend. Tony Jardine, how do you sum up the situation?
Well, firstly, I don't subscribe to the view that Mika Häkkinen is going to buckle under the pressure. He's worried about reliability of the car. That, in turn, has put tremendous pressure on Mercedes because it's a home match for them. They remember the double blow-up of last year. We have to remember that Mika Häkkinen soaked up a lot of pressure from Schumacher in Austria. He took it, and it was Schumacher that went off. He survived 2 big spins at Silverstone and in Monza, where his lightning reaction saved him. And if he can beat Michael Schumacher fair and square, he'll be a truly great champion. Michael Schumacher's not been good at the front, has he? He crashed in Belgium, he went off in Argentina. He's happier hunting down his prey.
It's been an amazing season, split right down the middle, as we can see. First race, 4 wins to Häkkinen, 2 to Schumacher, races 1 to 7, and then have a look at this. Total contrast, Tony.
It is, and it's down to the reliability thing again, because it's just 1 gearbox failure for Ferrari with Irvine, 1 engine which went for Schumacher at the beginning of the year, and he went off in Belgium. 3 apiece for Häkkinen and Coulthard, so that's the big problem for McLaren Mercedes.
Well, even though a Ferrari might feel to be on a roll, especially after that 1-2 at Monza, these are the odds supplied to us by the bookmakers at Ladbrokes, and it is Mika Häkkinen who is attracting the support. 5-4 favourite for tomorrow's race, Schumacher at 11-8, but they can't be separated for the title, both 5-6. The punters then going for Häkkinen. Let's hear the views of a man who's seen it all before, former world champion, Damon Hill.
Well, if I was Mika, I'd be trying not to let myself think that, you know, it's irritating that I had a 20-point or whatever it was point lead at some stage. Now I'm back to 0. I think if I was Mika, I'd also think, well, you know, that's done and dusted. There's nothing can be done about that. This is going to be exciting. It's going to be the most exciting time of my life. You know, I'm going to decide the next 2 races. I'll know whether I'm going to be world champion or not. So he'll be pumped up like mad for that. And I think he'll show what he's got. If you were Michael, it's not the first time for Michael like it is for Mika. Michael desperately wants to win, but it's not the first time for him. So he's in familiar territory. He will be a little bit at an advantage because of that, because the pressure, I don't believe, will be on Michael.
Damon hedging his bets a little bit, opinion split right down the middle at the paddock. Let's have a close look at the Nurburgring, shall we? The Luxembourg Grand Prix, of course, we're not in Luxembourg, the title really a flag of convenience to give Germany 2 races in 1 season. But this is the closest circuit to the Grand Duchy. It's notorious for some very dodgy weather. Here's Martin Brundle.
Down to the first corner, arrive at 185 miles an hour, the Castrol S. It's slightly downhill, very tight, and there's only 1 line. It's very dirty offline and a huge gravel trap. Scene of many a first corner incident. Remember last year, Michael Schumacher, his brother ran into him right here and his race was effectively over. A clean exit from the Castrol S gives you a short run down to turn 3, 170, bleeding down to 110. Don't use the full width of the track. It's more grip on the inside. Turn 4, the curb is smooth, well banked and helps you on your way. So if you got all that right, here's a treat for you. The Dunlop hairpin. It's a great one. Big downhill stop, just 65 miles an hour on the apex. A good overtaking opportunity, but often the scene of a few tangled wheels. After that, it's a long slog uphill. Play with the throttle, you have to wait. There's more grip right on the exit, and here we are on our way to turn 6 and 7. No need to lift the throttle, 160 miles an hour, but you must be accurate. Still heading uphill, now quite a technical section, the RTL curve. Arrive at 175, down to 95. Let the car run high, bring it immediately over to the left. Balance the throttle, 105 miles an hour through the bit curve. You think you're going to run out of track, but no problem. Heading downhill, you can settle down. It's the ITT curve, 165 miles an hour, easily full throttle, wet or dry. Heading uphill slightly again now. Cruise in here about 180 miles an hour and jump heavily on the middle pedal, the Vidal chicane. It used to be very fast but was deemed dangerous. Michael Schumacher, one of the main instigators to have it slowed down to just 60 miles an hour there. Coincidentally, he's very good in this type of corner. He's good on the brakes, last of the late breakers. He's overtaken a lot of cars here. An overtaking opportunity into Coca-Cola curve if you surprise somebody, but there's only one line out. 70 miles an hour on the apex, and he runs very, very wide. It amazes me to look at this. Curb, grass creek, drains. We put our pristine Formula One cars over this in the name of corner exit speed to hurtle down that pit straight one more time. If you want to make your Formula One car go faster around the new Nurburgring, then you have to improve the balance, make the front and rear slide the same, and the overall level of grip. Now, a key part of that is underneath the car, something you won't see unless it's having a huge accident. We've got one here for you. It's off of a Stewart. This huge plan area of carbon fibre with a Jabrock plank in the middle. It's partly covered up because the teams are very sensitive about how the aerodynamics are underneath. Now, you need to keep this a very consistent distance from the ground to make the aerodynamics stable. And that's just 1/4 of an inch at the front and 1/2 an inch at the rear. And in fact, over undulations, often it touches the ground. And that's why they put these skid blocks in here to control the wear rate. So if you can keep the aerodynamics consistent, then the driver will have a lot more confidence.
Thank you, Martin. Well, Johnny Herbert will be in one of those Stewarts next season. He's in a Sauber for qualifying. He talks now to James.
Well, Johnny, a bit of a strange moment there when we had a few spots of rain. What will it have done to the track?
Made it wet, I suppose. Yeah, that's what it normally does. But again, it stopped again, and I don't think there will be a rush to get out, because in these conditions it could not rain anymore, which would then mean that you don't want to waste the laps early on. So we're really going to have to really wait and see what happens, because it's very difficult. You look at the cloud, and it looked too high, almost for cloud, but it didn't seem to make any difference with the spots of rain we got. So we'll wait and see.
You say it makes it wet, but it's nothing like what it was this morning. It dried out very, very slowly. It seemed like a pretty tricky circumstances this morning.
Well, I thought it actually dried out quicker than it normally does. I always remember we had a wet one here in 95, but it was about 3 or 4 degrees, and that took absolutely ages to dry out. And obviously, a lot of people were basing it on that. And it didn't dry out too bad. It was a bit patchy here and there, but by the sort of the second part, it started to dry out much quicker. But generally, yes, it is quite a slow place to dry.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yes, so good luck to Johnny Herbert. The reigning world champion, Jacques Villeneuve, will drive his last European Grand Prix for Williams here this weekend. Williams, of course, still the Constructors' champions, and they finally announced their driver lineup for 99. Here's Louise Goodman.
The worst-kept secret in the paddock is finally official. Williams have confirmed IndyCar champion Alex Zanardi and Jordan incumbent Ralf Schumacher for 1999. Plans are shaping up at BAR too, where McLaren test driver Ricardo Zonta looks set to join outgoing world champion Jacques Villeneuve. But there's confusion about the future of former Jordan designer Gary Anderson. He's believed to be talking to Stewart Grand Prix.
We are certainly recruiting a new chief designer. We can't discuss at the moment who we're in serious discussions with, because there's lots of reasons for that.
The reasons being that Anderson is also said to have held discussions with Arrow's boss Tom Walkinshaw. The main focus may be on the drivers this weekend, but there's all to play for in the Constructors' Championship too. McLaren lead Ferrari by 10 points, and there's a battle royal raging behind the top pair. Just 2 points separate Williams, Benetton and Jordan. The coveted third spot could be worth up to $20 million in sponsorship deals, prize fund and merchandising revenue, so there's more than just honour at stake. And finally, the Goodyear technicians held a poignant photo call before the tyre company finally bows out of Formula One at the next race.
Be very sad to see Goodyear go. Tony, just briefly, they have helped Ferrari immensely.
They have, and they're old mates of mine. That's how I started in Grand Prix racing, fitting the old Goodyear tyres and taking the tyre temperature and everything. Ferrari are trying to get them to stay. Last Thursday, finally, Goodyear said, no, we're not staying, we're definitely pulling out of the sport. But they've done such a tremendous job, and turnaround shows their years of experience. They had something like about 12 to 15 compounds to choose from just for here, so they'll be strong.
Well, there we are. Those are the conditions for the qualifying hour. A little bit of rain around, not as much as we've had through the night, but I get the impression, listening to Johnny Herbert, the cars won't exactly be rushing out. We'll see, though, when you rejoin us.
see that again. Let's see that again. Let's see that again.
Let's look at that again, and this basement is going crazy.
Let's see that again.
I don't think we need to see that again. All right, let's see that again. Let's see that again.
F1 World Grand Prix with instant replay. Revel in your victories, wallow in your defeats.
Oh, and the presentation of the second-place trophy. Let's see that again.